I've just finished The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman as an audiobook. Now, no spoilers, don't worry, but it got me thinking about this place. This place, Bolter's Lock, on the River Thames in Berkshire, has a very special place for my family. In the 1950s, my mum and dad would come out from West London to do their courting here. They'd come to the fresh air and the countryside of Berkshire to escape the smoke and the smog of West London. In the 1960s, they moved out of London to Berkshire to raise their family. And my dad was a Venture Scout leader and spent many years happily canoeing here on the Thames. Years later, when he died, it was here at Bolter's Lock on the Thames that we decided to scatter his ashes. And so this got me thinking about something that every funeral celebrant will be asked at some point, and that's ashes.
Cremation is now the most common form of body disposal in the UK.
But it wasn't always the case. In Britain, cremation was illegal until the late 19th century. Today, over 75% of people choose cremation. The pandemic saw a rise in direct cremation. The Church of England and Catholic Church discourage the practice of scattering ashes and instead prefer to inter ashes by burying them in a casket in the ground.
For Sikhs and Hindus, scattering ashes in a sacred river like the Ganges is an important spiritual ritual. But for those far from India, any moving body of water that flows out to the sea can be used.
These ceremonies can be structured much like a traditional funeral service, just shorter and more intimate. Symbolic gestures might include releasing petals or doves, or planting a tree, or mixing the ashes with soil in order to nurture new growth. If an interment takes place a few months after the original cremation funeral service, then the family may want to revisit some of the elements of the ceremony.
One reason families choose to inter ashes rather than scatter them is the desire for a permanent place of remembrance.
Many cemeteries and crematoria have special places for ash interment. In contrast, scattering of ashes is often chosen for its symbolic nature.
The act of scattering ashes is final. Families who scatter ashes at sea, in forests, or at beauty spots often do so because of the connection their loved one had with that place.
Some families choose a tree planting as a lasting memorial, mixing ashes into the roots of the tree. You should never leave, however, anything non-biodegradable, like wreaths or personal mementos. So whether it's the River Thames, the hills of Derbyshire, or the sea, ashes tell a story.